Alright, what is up boys and girls, welcome back to another video. Taking a quick look at Chainlink here on our daily... Oh, it's not Chainlink at all, is it? It's Dogecoin. I just did Chainlink and then had Chainlink on my mind. But I've been thinking about Dogecoin and I'm thinking this looks like it could potentially start ripping to the upside here if Bitcoin can pump the market. So you can see if we look at Bitcoin's chart, we have been absolutely bullish this week, ripping through all these previous levels of resistance. You can see these big fair value gaps that we were stuck under last week, all being inversed here. Bitcoin with another huge green candle today, looking like we're consolidating so far for this next hourly candle, and we could potentially get some I would say it's highly likely at this point that at some point over the next few days we come up and hit this high, come up and grab the liquidity above this high. You can see we formed this trend line liquidity on the way down, massive fair value gaps, and then once we started inversing them, I knew we were probably going to be reversing back around and being bullish, coming back to the upside like this. And you can see Bitcoin right now is basically just having another really bullish day so far. Huge green candle here. Be interesting to see if we can fully break above this trend line resistance here. You can see we actually have formed a trend line, and it will be very interesting to see now that we've closed above this if we get continuation like this, not only back to this local high but back to the all-time high, because right now things looking very bullish for Bitcoin, and it'll be interesting to see if we can continue. But what this means for Dogecoin is that we are basically in a position right now, as you can see, where we are finally getting a little bit of relief for Dogecoin. Altcoins are really lagging behind Bitcoin's price action this week. If you look at Bitcoin and then look at altcoins in general, they are still basically all of this week they've been consolidating while Bitcoin's been pumping. You can see, especially over the past few days, if you look since Sunday on pretty much all these altcoins, they've all just been chopping sideways and not doing anything, especially Dogecoin here. You can see really underperforming Bitcoin's price action since Sunday. Bitcoin's been pumping up like this, recovering all of the losses that it did see from last week. Bitcoin looking like this basically, whereas Dogecoin here you can see quite clearly lagging behind. We're going to have to wait and see what happens next, but right now Dogecoin here, in my opinion, just looking like it's going to follow Bitcoin to the upside. It's really all dependent on how far Bitcoin goes at this point. I think Bitcoin, in my opinion, are we getting stuck on any kind of resistance here? What are we potentially rejecting? There is one last tiny hourly fair value gap up here. This could be a potential area of resistance that we look like we might just be tapping into. Yeah, maybe this could be the last resistance that we see here. So we might see Bitcoin do something like this, tap into this, have a little bit of a retrace, maybe tap this and then do this. This would probably be a fairly reasonable scenario. But Bitcoin, in my opinion, looking like it's really starting to get some very bullish momentum. Look at these hourly candles. These hourly legs to the upside here are not looking like bearish price action at all. And it's actually interesting. We're looking even more bullish than this time here. If you look at this price action here, very slow, grindy, choppy to the upside grind. And then we had this liquidity sweep of all this. And now we're getting this big, impulsive move to the upside. It makes me feel like we're probably going to continue to the upside a lot more than this grinding to the upside price action here that looks quite high resistant. This just looks like it's ripping through liquidity. And in my opinion, we've got liquidity here, and obviously we've got liquidity all the way up back to the all-time high. So it'll be very interesting to see how far Bitcoin can go. Obviously we could reject here from this trend line, but it'd be interesting to see. Right now Dogecoin basically following Bitcoin's price action. There's the dog as always, and you can see Dogecoin here could be in for some really good pumpage back through some of this liquidity itself, following Bitcoin finally. As you can see, Bitcoin's done this. Dogecoin has basically yet to do this, even back to the highs of where we dropped from last week on Monday. Very interesting times ahead, but I do think Dogecoin overall, in terms of the macro, we're gearing up to head towards that $1 area. You can see I've got it circled on the chart here. I think we really could start ripping through some of these levels at this point. We've got this final level of resistance for Dogecoin. I don't know what's happened to this. You can see we've got this final level of resistance like this that we're going to come up. This will be our final resistance at 44 cents before heading up towards that $1 level. I think that's pretty likely at this point. It's going to be interesting to see what happens next. As always guys, thank you very much for watching. Please do like and subscribe and leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. Check back every day for daily updates and get some free money in the description below. Cheers.